What's up, everyone? Welcome back to an episode of Blind Fly Tie, where I, as a blind person, try to show how to tie flies and do some flying fishing, some of the difficulties, and some tips and tricks that I've figured out on my own time. And in case any of you want to try to teach someone else who's blind how to try and do some of these things. It's been a minute since my last upload. I play a sport for the blind called goal ball, GOAL ball, and I play for Puerto Rico's national team. But a couple weeks ago, I was in Philly for a tournament, and my one of the team that I was playing with, one of my teammates kind of kicked me in the hand, and the ball crushed my finger at the same time as I got kicked in the hand. So I broke my pinky. So it's been a little funky. But in a couple next week on Cinco de Mayo, I'll be in Austin in case anyone wants to check it out. And also, I have a GoFundMe for my Paralympic journey. If anyone's willing to donate, I'll drop the link in the description for that. Uh, this July, we'll be going to Brazil with Team Puerto Rico, hoping to see if we qualify for Worlds next year, which would hopefully help us qualify for LA in 2028. But let's get this started. I'm going to be tying a brown caddis today. Doing my best anyway to tie a brown caddis. I've got here some black thread, brown dubbing fur, or polyester, some hackle, and just some black deer tail from the neck. Like I said before, I'm blind, so we have to do a couple of things to kind of help us out. I'm right-handed, so I have my bakken in my right hand, and I have this extra thread here in my left hand, which is going to be kind of like my lead. I'm going to do a couple wraps right behind the eye, drop one in behind my lead thread, trying to cinch this and lock this in place, and a couple more quick wraps. To exaggerate, you want to try and do an open spiral, let that lay down, and use that lead thread to kind of slide that thread backwards, doing your best to make some touching wraps. So far, that's the best way I figured out, blind wise. They're not going to be perfect touching wraps, but it's better than potentially creating a ball and any kind of bunching like all the way through. At least you'd be getting close to making a thread base compared to, again, just making a hot mess. So going towards the bend of the hook, got that there. By the way, size 14 hook, forgot to mention that. You can pull this thread off. I'm just going to snip it, spread the scissor blades open, slide the blades down till I touch the hook, and then give it a quick shake. Now in my mayfly video, I mentioned that dubbing as a blind person seems to be the most difficult thing I've come across, to be honest. That and putting on like hackle wings. Jesus. Tenting hackle wings. Ridiculous. So this fly apparently wants a tapered body, so like a nice fat butt by the hook bend leading towards the eye of the hook, kind of tapering off. We'll see if I can do this. So while you're, anyone listening, watching this video, please blindfold yourself, close your eyes. Give me some tips and tricks on how you think it might help. Any ideas you might have to help me figure out a better way to do dubbing, or a really good way to do dubbing. I'm trying to make my dubbing noodle now. which again, this is the most difficult part. And I know it has to be kind of like thicker in the back, tapering off towards the front. I'm trying to do that. Hopefully it doesn't look like too hot of a mess. Now, I can feel that it's kind of thick. I'm going to try and get this extra dubbing I've got here, seeing if I can make it thin at all. As thin as I possibly can without losing my mind on losing dubbing, because that's part of the problem. I can't really see if I'm losing dubbing, making any gaps in my dubbing. There's just lots of problems. But it does feel like I've tapered. Hopefully that's not too bad. They didn't really say how much and how floofy the back was supposed to be. So I don't know if that's too much or what. I'll try and get this extra off. Put that to the side. Alright. So I've got my dubbing down. I'm going to just do a little clinch knot to secure that in place. I'm just going to check it. It definitely feels flared, really poofy, but I don't know if that's correct, unfortunately. Alright, so next we're going to tie in our wing with this deer tail. I'm going to try and get, it says, I'm told it's supposed to be half a matchstick, which I'm assuming is those paper matchsticks. I don't honestly know. But it'll be close. I haven't felt those cheap paper matchsticks in a long time, but I have a generic memory of it. I'm going to stick a deer here. Now, because it doesn't say to spin, whether or not we're spinning this hair, so I just am, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do. So as a blind person, how I think we should make our pinch loop, as we pinch our material to the hook, a little extra thread, we're going to put the tip of the bobbin in that little hole we're making with our fingers, slide down the tip of our index finger, lead kind of backwards towards your hand, get one loose loop, get more excess thread, do the same process backwards, and then now tighten both of them together. I'm going to let that try to spin and settle a little bit there. Just give it a quick little cinch. Now that I have that in place, I'm going to do like one tight wrap, two tight wraps, give my thread a quick spin, a third tight wrap, and for now I'm just going to let that lay flat, just for now, because I'm a little nervous about cutting my thread. I'm going to do another little clinch knot, trying to lay it over right where I just tied down. I have to snip this excess. I know it looks, if you can see my face, it looks like I'm looking at what I'm doing, but trust me, I'm not actually seeing. It's just habits. I used to have vision until I hit about the age of 20, and then by the time I hit 20, it just progressively disappeared. All right, so next is our hackle that we're gonna wrap as our head. From everything I could find about this kind of fly, it wants you to use two hackles. It says something about they support each other. I don't know what that means. So in the comments, if you can say what that means, that would be awesome. So I'm trying to find two hackles that are basically next to each other that I can get. Because if they're next to each other, they should hopefully be the same size. That is one. Really struggling to get this second hackle out. The first one I was struggling a little too for some reason. Literally right there, I could feel a little. And that's number two. I'm going to lay them on top of each other the exact same way I took them out. I'm going to do my best to make sure as well that the tips are at the same level. And again, all I can do is my best. It may not be perfect, but I'm just going to do my best here. Oh, apparently I grabbed three. I'm going to put that one to the side for a little later. For something else. One there, one there. A little bit of a struggle. Now that I have my two hackles, I'm going to lay them on top. Hackle tips laying forward towards the eye of the hook. And again, similar process with the pinch loops. Big open loop. Keep it loose. Don't tighten it yet. Till I do the second one, we're going to cinch that down. Give it a nice tug. I'll do another tighter pinch loop. One more tight pinch loop. Spin my thread again. Really trying my best to make sure I cinch these down. Sometimes I have some issues with tying in my hackles. Okay. I'm going to do one more clinch knot. To secure that in place. All right. Now comes some of the fun part. I'm going to do my best to spin. Oh, and that's my problem. I just took the hackle off. All right. Let's try this again, shall we? Funny, not funny. Funny, haha, funny. Am I a clown? Do I amuse you? All right. Let's try this again. Do my best to really cinch this down. You know, because I got some spares in the front. Try and get behind that excess that's going past the eye of the hook. My thread just broke. Click, click. Oh no, it happens. Before I lose everything. Right there. Right there. No one panic. No one panic. This whatever is gonna have a pretty fat hit. What the? No one laugh. No one panic. Now, if this hackle comes out at this point, it just doesn't want it. Clearly, it's decided it doesn't want to stay. I just snipped my hackle. You know what? We're gonna do one hackle because I'm gonna lose my mind at this point. Oh my god. Clinch knot that down. I got my one hackle. My lowly one hackle fiber now. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I hope these fibers are sticking up nice and good. What the? What's going on with my thread? My thread's caught on something. Oop. Blind problems, man. I'm telling you, blind problems. Jesus. Try this again. I'm gonna hold that like that, just so it's out of the way. Latch it, catch it, throw it in the basket. One more behind. This, we're having some problems. Having some problems today. Snip that excess. Hopefully I didn't snip my thread. I didn't snip my thread before, but man, it just broke before. Okay. I did a little clinch knot. I'm trying to make sure I don't crowd that eye at all. Last but not least, if we can get it, we're gonna whip finish this. Hold the excess thread in my left hand. Finishing tool in my right hand. Hook. Loop around that little bulb right there. And I'm just gonna pinch my excess thread to my hook, make my right triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to come right there behind the eye of the hook. Give it a snip. Now that I've done that, grab my wing. Give it some tug so that it's flared up. Okay. And there we have a full chaotic making of this caddis. Brown dubbing, black deer tail, some hackle. Supposed to be two, turned into one. Hopefully the hackle is sticking up, sticking out, flared out. Man, like, comment, subscribe. Please, in the comments, give any advice on how to make my fly tying life easier. And if you want to, please donate to my GoFundMe and support my Paralympic journey. Thank you.